Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I first want to talk about my Dutch video I made about children trafficking and the horrific things that they have to face and still facing, they have faced. And I mentioned a few articles yesterday. I also put them on my Telegram channel. I'm actually going to put an English version of one of the Dutch articles about Chile. I'm going to put that on my Telegram channel as well. Horrific things. I've talked about something I found on Wikipedia, that there apparently are children sacrifices still going on in Uganda. Like, what? It's just incredible that this is still happening. Not just in Uganda, in Nigeria, Swaziland, Liberia, Tanzania, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Mali. This is horrible. This is the harmful practice of removing body parts, blood, or tissue from a child who is still alive. Just imagine. Well, of course, most children will not survive that, but there are survivors. And I also put up an interview I saw on YouTube about a woman who's actually fighting against these practices. And this is just horrific. I've mentioned Chile, 20,000 babies were stolen between 1960 and 2004. And this was a gigantic operation. Social workers were involved, nurses, nuns, judges, hospital directors. They were all selling these babies. They would tell the mother that their child had died. They would not give certification that the child had died. They would just tell them, and then they would obviously already sold the baby, and of course we have no idea when they would end up. I'm hoping all these babies would end up with good families, but we also know that babies are being used for completely something different, so they could end up in horrific places. Bangladesh, I also mentioned an article about a British doctor, I think his name was Jack Prager, worked for Terra des Hommes, Netherlands. He worked there and he got signals that colleagues of his were selling children. They would round them up in refugee camps. They would buy women that would tell a judge that these were their children and they were giving them up. Obviously, they were not the mothers. And they would sell these children, and this has been going on. I do believe a lot of these organizations that were supposed to help really were just covers for something completely different. And it's just horrific. These were just some cases I found, some articles I found. I think it's happened worldwide, especially in a lot of refugee camps. You can easily round up children. I've talked about what's happening now in the Netherlands. We have this scandal going on. It's called the toeslagenaffaire. And it's about people that, because of the Dutch IRS, so the tax man, so to speak, they were put on a blacklist and they've had to pay back so much money. And it was just awful. They lost houses, horrible situations. And they, not voluntarily, children were placed out of the home. A large group of these people lost their children to the system. They were taken care in what we call jeugdzorg, youth care, literally means youth care. And there's a lot of controversies with youth care. There's been a report in 2019 about being unprotected in the youth care, about all kinds of people that been in there or had experience with it and really faced horrific things in institutions, in foster care. It's just horrific if you think about this. So now 1,675 children are missing from the parents that lost their children in this scandal that had the government fall. That's why we had a new vote. We had to vote again, and we have a new government because it fell over this affair that's been going on, because they never had the right to do that. What I got from the card readings about this, what's been going on, that the dark forces purposely did this. What I got was that the Whiteheads have been helping out for a while now. They've been trying to save the children. So the dark energies were kind of running out of food, things they use for, they were running out of children. So what I got from the cards, they purposely put all these people on the blacklist, hoping everything would collapse so they can take away the children. So they had another, how do you say that? They had another supply. This is horrific, but this is what's happening, I think, worldwide. If you just think about that for just a second. I made a mistake yesterday, unfortunately, in my video. I was talking about 8 million children missing every year. I thought in the USA, but this was worldwide, although I believe that amount is way bigger than 8 million children a year. But in the United States, about 800,000 children go missing every year. And this is just, I cannot fully understand this. We have facial recognition. People know exactly what you bought when you bought it, because a lot of people pay now with cards, credit, well, not credit cards here, but with your pass, your bank pass. People can follow you. We've got cameras everywhere. We have so many things. They know about everything about you, but they haven't got a clue where those children are. And right now there's a debate going on about these children. Where are they? And the people in charge are just kind of postponing things, kind of just like, yeah, well, it's not in the best interest of these children to connect them right now with their parents. I'm not sure what kind of excuses they're using, but I also looked at it with the card reading, and what I got is that I hope I'm wrong about this, but I've got a feeling that not every one of these children are still alive, and some of these children have been taken care of by the Whiteheads, and they probably were sold and used and abused. So I think that they really don't have a clue where these children are, but it's just shocking. So they're just using all these, yeah, well, we don't know. Like, come on, you know everything, but you don't know where these children are. And just like in America, so many cameras, things working, but you have no idea where these children are. It's just, let's just say, especially when you look at the cases in Bangladesh, with, of course, the British doctor actually went to the government of Bangladesh to mention this, and he was thrown out of the country. So it goes very, very high up. You have to understand, these are humongous organizations, and they've got a lot of people in their pockets. So we'll just have to wait and see how it's going to end up here in the Netherlands. And I do hope and do believe that some of the children will be reunited with their parents again. But I also heard from someone yesterday that these are just the involuntarily placed out of the house children. So apparently there are also children voluntarily placed out of the house. So this 1675 is involuntarily. So we still have more children missing in the system. It's just mind-boggling if you think about that. Like, how is this happening? I think it is to open up people's eyes, to really show them what's been going on, really been going on in youth care with children. You cannot just say it outright what's been going on. A lot of people will not believe it, will not understand. You need to open up people for that. So these things right now are very important. I do believe in the Netherlands this case is very important to show people what's been going on, and things aren't right, and the entire system is just corrupt and toxic and wasted. So I'd like to take a look right now. Something different, obviously, because it just makes me sick to my stomach, really. Children really just, I just think it's horrific what's going on. But we need to mention this. We need to not close our eyes. We need to open them and see what's been happening so we can change it and make sure that this never, ever happens again. So important. Someone asked me actually about South Africa, what's going on there. Apparently things are heating up there, but I'm just going to look at the energy of South Africa. I'm sure a lot of things have happened there as well with children under the ground. So we're going to look at South Africa. Let's see. We have the 5 of Wands. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the 8 of Wands. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the Ace of Swords for the future with the 5 of Pentacles. So right now, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of struggle going on in South Africa. I do believe it's probably connected with children as well. I think more and more things are going to come out there as well. I also heard that there's still something going on with the restrictions. I'm not sure if their masks are coming back or not, but there's a big struggle going on. And this is about showing people, waking up people and showing how deep this goes, how bad it goes. And this is also about healing. If you want to heal things, you need to see it. You need to be open to it. With the children, you need to see it, not look away. If you want to heal something in yourself, for instance, you really have to face it, look at it, see it. And that's what's going on now in South Africa. But there's a lot going on, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. It's kind of heating up. That's the feeling I'm getting. And for the near future, new information will come out. This is like a new beginning, especially communications, ideas, truths are coming out. But it will leave people in, I am getting this feeling that they left in the cold. So I think people will be more and more angry with the government. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they start, how do you say this, trying to get rid of the government. That's a possibility, because I have a feeling a lot of people are very angry with what's been going on. A lot of feeling of being left out in the cold, a lot of anger, well, sadness, disappointment. This is about strife, anger. So I have a feeling things are going to heat up there. So people will be feeling left in the cold, like they don't have anywhere to turn, and more information will come out, and it's necessary. People need to see it. So there's a lot of transformation going on there and a lot of energy going on in South Africa. So I also want to take a look globally what the energy is now. What is the energy globally? Let's see. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the 6 of Swords, so that's interesting. We have the Moon in the past. We have the 3 of Pentacles underneath the central card, and we have the Page of Wands. I'm going to get another one, and the 10 of Swords. This is interesting. These two are the leaving cards. They're both leaving. So this is interesting. This is really moving away. We are really in the process of moving away from these old systems, from these old things. I do believe that more and more people are waking up. I understand, I get reactions where they say, well, I don't see anyone waking up. But you have to understand, this is globally. So there are probably even people that will seem on the outside that they're not waking up, but they are questioning inside what's going on. But they're maybe still afraid to open their mouths or really say it out loud. But I do believe this energy is changing. We're moving away. The 8 of Cups is moving. This is a very conscious choice of moving away. And this is moving away, but still not sure where we're going to end up. We just don't know. A lot of hard work. I do believe Whiteheads are working very hard to get this done, so to speak. This is about cooperation. I do believe a lot of people are working together. More initiatives are coming out. People are getting together. People are starting to understand that we have to do our part. I do see this also about personal working in yourself, trying to get your mind, your spirit, your body in one line, because that's so important. Raise your energy. That is what we're supposed to be doing now. Do things that feel right to you. See if things resonate with you and follow that. if you have a certain desire to do certain things or to get together with people and start initiatives, listen to that. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your connection with God. It's so important. We have white hat influences, and being fed up. This is really about a very drastic change. And I think we are working towards that. But like I've said, I'm not going to put any dates on that. It could happen tomorrow. It can still happen maybe months later, although that's not the feeling I'm getting, but we just don't know, because in the spiritual world, time doesn't exist. We have time. We've made that up ourselves. So for us, it can take a while, but in the spiritual world, it's like a second just passed. So you have to understand that. And this is quite a process. I do believe first a lot of things will happen coming out, more and more truths will come out. People will start to at least have the opportunity to see what's going on. That's the feeling I'm getting. But still, we have to change things. We have to change things in ourselves. We have to do the work. We have to do the work in ourselves. And of course, that will translate to doing the work in the outer world and start manifesting the world we really want. So I want to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.